At Gyome's training grounds, the stone Hashira explains the importance of the body's core, specifically the lower body. He teaches Tanjiro and Zenitsu that having a solid foundation will improve both their accuracy and defense. Training begins by immersing themselves under a waterfall, and they observe two trainees struggling to remain upright. They then need to lift a heavy set of 3 logs bound together, and finally, they must push a huge boulder for a distance of 100 meters. Despite the simplicity of the tasks, Gyome advises against setting the ground ablaze for safety reasons. Tanjiro interrupts to inform Gyome that Zenitsu has fainted, and the stone Hashira instructs Tanjiro to throw him into the river. As Tanjiro places Zenitsu in the water, he abruptly wakes up, trying to reach dry land while complaining about the coldness of the water. Even when he's out of the water, Zenitsu continues to shiver uncontrollably, and he senses something behind him and sees Murata, who tells him to cling to the boulders for warmth. Zenitsu instantly lunges towards a boulder, feeling its unexpected warmth. He remarks how he never imagined a rock could be so warm, and compares it to the comforting embrace of his mother's arms. Concurrently, Tanjiro struggles to reach the waterfall to commence training. He spots Inosuke beneath it, endlessly repeating the words, "Coming through," as he endures the force of the torrent. A nearby trainee soon gives up and leaves the waterfall area, and Tanjiro praises his perseverance, declaring he should also try his best. He then notices that Inosuke is no longer speaking, sensing something awry as he pulls him out of the falls and performs CPR. Upon Inosuke awakening, Tanjiro sheds tears of relief. During a break, Tanjiro cooks fish for the trainees. Inosuke quickly devours his food, expressing his bewilderment at the stone Hashira, whom he has affectionately nicknamed Old Guy with the Rattling Beads. Tanjiro gently admonishes him for the moniker, and Inosuke admits he felt a chill upon meeting Gyome for the first time. Everyone is astonished to witness Inosuke ingesting the bones as well, and he claims it's because they taste good. Inosuke is convinced that Gyome is the most powerful Hashira, and Tanjiro concurs, observing that his scent differs from the others. When Tanjiro wonders if Gyome has gained the mark, Inosuke recalls the time he was pounded into the ground by him, expressing that it wouldn't be surprising if he did. The other trainees grumble about their difficulty in keeping up with the conversation, expressing their belief that the ones who have advanced quickly are on a different level. They also appreciate Tanjiro's cooking skills. Zenitsu becomes infuriated when Tanjiro mentions hearing that the stone Hashira can move even bigger boulders, mocking him for believing everything he hears. Tanjiro replies that given his sharp hearing, he can tell if Zenitsu is lying. At that moment, Gyome appears behind the group while pushing an enormous boulder, chanting the Nyanfo. When Tanjiro expresses his desire to be like Gyome, Zenitsu repeatedly hits him for his optimism amidst the intense training, claiming there is a gap between giants and little people. Inosuke puts on his mask and confidently declares he will lift the logs and push the boulder, annoying Zenitsu even more. During waterfall training, Tanjiro and Zenitsu struggle to maintain their stance while chanting the Nenbutsu and Nyanfo, though Zenitsu loses his footing and needs to be rescued by Tanjiro. Afterwards, Tanjiro moves on to the log training. Despite the struggle to lift the logs, he successfully pushes them over his head, preparing for the final task. As Muzan ponders his progress in locating Nezuko and the Master, he expresses confidence in soon finding them. He reflects on his meeting with Nakime, whom he compliments on her growth beyond his expectations. Nakime expresses gratitude for his words before Muzan instructs her to search in a new location. Using her biwa, Nakime accesses the view from the detached eye in the area and follows 2 more demon slayers. Muzan believes it is only a matter of time until he has both Nezuko and the Master. During Tanjiro's first attempt to push the boulder but fails, his sandal breaks. As he walks back to fix it, he encounters several trainees preparing to leave the mountain. When he inquired about the reason for their early departure, they explain they cannot keep up with the training and confess a sense of failure for bailing on the mountain. Tanjiro tries to encourage them, reassuring that their support will be crucial for the stronger fighters like him. Their spirits boosted, the trainees depart, entrusting their support to him. After fixing his sandal, Tanjiro attempts to push the boulder again but fails again. During a break, the trainees are amazed by Tanjiro's cooking skills and compliment his onigiri, thanking him for the treat. They wonder why there are not many trainers for the Hashira, with Zenitsu speculating it's either due to the difficulty of the training or because they give up after seeing the powerful Hashira. Everyone praises the strength of the Hashira and commends Tanjiro's cooking skills, attributing it to his background as a charcoal burner. He prepares miso-flavored onigiri, causing the trainees to fondly recall their own mother's cooking. As Tanjiro continues his arduous training, he reflects on the impact of Genya's advice. His heart rate and body temperature gradually increase, but his initial attempts are only barely able to nudge the boulder. Despite his progress, he is interrupted by his peers requesting him to prepare dinner. While preparing dinner, Genya arrives and helps Tanjiro. They discuss his attempt at repetitive action, and Tanjiro describes the technique as feeling different from total concentration. However, its reliance on emotions makes it difficult to control. In the midst of their conversation, Genya prompts Tanjiro to reflect on when he experiences his emotions most strongly. This leaves Tanjiro contemplating, and Genya apologizes, thinking he had upset him, but Tanjiro assures him he is not offended. Genya reassures him of his ability to master repetitive action. A sense of determination fills Tanjiro as he recollects the words of his fallen mentor, Kyojuro. The memory of his loved ones fuels his resolve, and his mark reappears on his forehead. With newfound strength, Tanjiro pushes with all his might against the boulder, and to his surprise it moves slightly. Excited by his initial success, Tanjiro pushes again, only to find that the boulder did not budge this time. Nevertheless, he refuses to give up. He realizes that for the first time, he was able to use his full strength with the technique. Taking a deep breath, Tanjiro recommits himself and concentrates on the memories that motivate him to keep pushing. Using repetitive action, Tanjiro's mark remains present, and he continuously pushes with all his strength, surprising his friends who had been watching. As the mark continues to strengthen him, Tanjiro persists in pushing the boulder, and gradually, it begins to move again. In the distant Infinity Castle, Muzan contemplates the potential plans that Kagaya, the current core leader, may be devising. He ponders what the leader looks like now, as he is aware that he had been aging for the past century since becoming a demon.